phylum Porifera, as it belongs to the kingdom Animalia and subkingdom Parazoa. So that makes them to be a cellular grade of organization where there is no coordination between the that cells, which they can't form the tissue. Nerve cells and sensory cells are absent. By the habitat, we said they are marine in habitat. Some of them live in fresh water. That we got an exception, Spongilidae family. That mostly marine, we can say here. And the land about the canal system. I'll give a brief of canal system even present now. The canal system that the minute pores present on the body surface, we call it as ostia, which opens into the spongiocele, and the exit through the osculum. The water enters through the ostia into the spongiocele and exit out through the osculum. We call it as this system as a canal system. We learned it as canal system. And animals of phylum Porifera are commonly called sponges. Okay. So then our said pattern that any phylum, as I said to you, that we need to maintain, we need to answer the questions whatever we prepared earlier. Habit and habitat. The habit and habitat, as I said to you now, they are a marine habitat and they are sedentary. That means they attach us to the substratum. That's what we said in locomotion and nutrition. How do they collect the food material? How do they collect the food material? When water enters inside, the particular from the water, the coenocytes are there and they are collecting, they're trapping the food materials from the water. So that means we need to say here the food collection is possible by the cells called coenocytes, and the food collection is possible done by canal system. Due to the canal system, they get managed to be like this. Okay. So then followed by need to go with digestion, how the digestion is going on here. So that I said to you, always you need to make questions like this to answer. The digestion is intracellular. Where does the digestion occurs? In the cells called coenocytes. In the coenocytes, the digestion occurs. Intracellular digestion. Respiration through diffusion. Even canal system participate in the respiration. That means here water enters inside, that makes oxygen availability to the cells of inside. Next, circulation. No special circulation issues are present here, as there's one cell to the another cell. After the digestion, they'll just pass one to the another. What do you say? One to the another we call diffusion. The process we say diffusion. Excretion. No special excretion. The excretory issues are here. That means excretory organs or excretory tissue. That excretory materials, excretory system is not there. That what do you say? What the excretory materials are eliminated in the water, and through the water it will go out. So what I mean, canal system is helping there. Nervous. The nervous issues, nerve cell and sensory cells are absent. That means the coordination is absent. That means that they remain as a cellular grade of organization. Okay. Next, the skeletal. That we need to go through the skeletal. We'll have to go only that. That is because of classification. That will go with it. That about the reproduction we'll see first. Then after I'll go with the skeletal. Reproduction. Asexual reproduction is there and in the form of budding and the sexual reproduction, the bisexual animals these are, where coenocytes are producing sperms and archaeocytes of the mesohyl are producing ovum. Sperms produced from one sponge will go to the another sponge, and there in the mesohyl fertilization is going to be happening. Development is indirect with parenchyma and amphiblastula, larval forms here. Okay. So what left? That the skeleton, the portion, the skeleton. That means about the skeletal, spicules are present here. Spicules. Spicules are made up of calcium carbonate, or spicules may be made of silica. That means the spicules are of two types. Calcium carbonate made or silica, or else in some special fibers even can be find over that we say spongin fiber. So the skeletal in the form of the calcium carbonate or silica made spicules, and the or in some we'll find spongin fiber. Okay, and the spicules are also of various types here, not necessary for us monoxon, that that triaxon, that hexoxon, hexoctinal spicules are present at various types. It doesn't matter for us. So what it matters, phylum Porifera is classified into three classes, as we said earlier: Calcarea, Hexactinellida, Calcarea, Hexactinellida, and Demospongia. Calcarea, Hexactinellida, Demospongia. On what basis? On the basis of the spicules only. That means in Calcarea, calcium carbonate made spicules are present. In Hexactinellida, spicules are made up of silica. In Demospongia, it may be with silica or the spongin fibers. Maybe silica, or in some you'll find some spongin fibers. Okay, so based on the skeletal elements which they have, based on that only we classified it as Calcarea, Hexactinellida, and Demospongia. So calcium carbonate spicules in Calcarea, siliceous spicules in Hexactinellida, and Demospongia. That make three classes here in phylum Porifera. Okay, three classes here. Okay, so along with the examples, we'll take a look back into the textbook here, that we have completed the explanatory issues. So invertebrate phyla, the phylum Porifera. Let's take a look how it is given in text. Phylum Porifera, that's subkingdom Parazoa. So by the first, we'll find the statement here that is an evolutionary blind of shoot. What it means? Evolutionary blind of shoot. In general, it is said to be animals are evolved one after another and one from another. That means if you talk about phylum Arthropoda, that will come from Annelida. If you talk from phylum Mollusca, it is said to be it is from Arthropoda. So that means animals are evolved one after another and one from another. But we have an exception with phylum Porifera. It is said to be the phylum Porifera. From the phylum Porifera, no of these animals are evolved. None of these animal is evolved from the phylum Porifera. So that what you say, the sponges are called evolutionary blind of shoots. That shoot. That means for your understanding, I am giving this example, that it is said to be that a human evolved from monkey. That means from whom you are evolved. Always we look back. Likewise, Annelida is evolved from Nematoda, Nematoda from Platyhelminths. In that way, you have to look forward. So what Porifera is saying, that exempt me in this area, I am not going to farm anyone. That's what we are saying. That we didn't get any evidence that from phylum Porifera, any of these phylums are evolved. So that's why what do you say? Evolutionary blind of show. Let's start. The phylum Porifera. The term Porifera is forebearing, which was coined, and their true animal nature was established by Robert Grant. The members of this phylum are commonly called sponges. So I hope you're not getting any problem here of that where we learned everything from the beginning. So they are generally marine with an exception like Spongilidae and Potamelipidae family. They except Spongilidae and Potamelipidae, that all are marine, which include freshwater. All the belongs to class Demospongia. Will go. Example for Spongilidae is Spongilla. They are either radially symmetrical or asymmetrical. Mostly asymmetrical. You'll find radial symmetry also in some. Okay, so that these are primitive multicellular and sessile animals and have a cellular level of organization. The body wall is composed of two layers. Now getting into the topic here. The body wall is composed of two layers. What are they? Outer epidermis are pinacoderm and inner coenoderm, separated by a gelatinous matrix called the mesohyl, pinacoderm, and the coenoderm. So I don't think so. I need to show this back again. That we learned already. So mesohyl. Okay. So pinacoderm, coenoderm, and mesohyl. Sponges have a water transport or canal system. We can say sponges have a water transport or canal system that constantly conducts the water. Okay. Then water enters through minute pores called ostia, the inhalent aperture. Water is entering through the ostia, and their inhalent apertures in the body wall into a central cavity, and the spongiocele, which is also called paragastric cavity, from where it goes through osculum, exhalent aperture. I don't think so. You're feeling any problem here. We have shown this complete scenario here, that ostia through into spongiocele, from there into the osculum, that we have seen already. This transport of water is helpful for gathering of food, nutrition, that what you say, filter feeders. That what is filter feeding? From the flow of water, you are dropping the food material. So that what we say, filter feeding. Okay. Then respiratory exchange of gases is possible by the canal system, and removal of wastes we call excretion. We drop the excretory materials in the water, that brings the allow that brings excretory wastes out into the body from through canal system. Next, the cells, coenocytes to be remembered. Coenocytes are collar cells which line the spongiocele. We call them as collar cell. Let me use another color here that you will better understand. Yeah, here it is. The coenocytes are collar cells. We can say these are the cells as an inner lining of coenoderm, line the spongiocele and the canal. Nutrition is holozoic, and digestion is intracellular, which occurs itself in the coenocyte. The reserve food that is stored in the cells called thisocytes. And nerve cell and sensory cells are absent, so they do not show much of coordination between the functioning of the various parts of the body, where they remain in the form of only cellular grade. Okay, the body is supported by a skeleton made up of calcareous spicules or siliceous spicules or spongin fibers, or both. Sexes are not separate. That hermaphroditic or monoecious, we can say. The egg cells and the sperms are produced by the same individual. We call it as bisexual or hermaphrodite or monoecious. Do remember this word along the length of the chapter it will come. That means if male and female are present in the same animal, you may use a word called bisexual, or you may call hermaphrodite, or you may call monoecious. The egg cells and sperms are produced by the same individual. That sponges reproduce asexually by fragmentation and budding, and sexually by the formation of gametes. As we already said, the bisexual animals, they are male female gametes are going to be produced by one organism, hermaphrodite or bisexual or monoecious. Fertilization occur in the mesohyl, that means internal. The cleavage is holoblastic, and the development is indirect, involving different types of larval stages such as parenchyma, trichimella, and amphiblastula. Parenchyma, trichimella, and amphiblastula, which are morphologically different from the adult, which is actually the definition of a larva. Larva doesn't look like an adult. If larva look like an adult, you can't say it as larva. For example, I'm saying, with a known example, I can go. You may know the frog larva, that everyone says, what is larva frog? That means tadpole. Okay, so tadpole, does it look like adult frog? No. So that's why it is called larva. Okay, so that what do you say? Tadpole is not the larva of phylum Porifera. Don't be get confused though. Just example I'm giving. That from your earlier stories, earlier classes, you may learn over in that way. Caterpillar, butterfly. You just go for this. This is a butterfly. Caterpillar will be like a crawling animal, so that with segmented body. Okay, so that this word, and to understand this word, I am showing here, but that not, they are not all at all belongs to phylum Porifera, which are morphologically different from the adult. Larva means who is externally look alike, they do not look like an adult. Okay, so then Parenchyma, Amphiblastula, and Trichymella are the larval forms. Parenchyma, Trichymella, and Amphiblastula. The power of regeneration is very well in case of phylum Porifera. Even you cut a sponge into 100 pieces, every piece will develop into a new sponge. Okay. Then they are considered as evolutionary blind of that shoot. What do you say? That from here no animal is evolved from the animal kingdom. Okay, so based on the presence of spicules, we classified the phylum Porifera into three classes: Calcarea, Hexactinellida, and Demospongia. So all the three at a glance we need to look forward. So Calcarea, Hexactinellida, Demospongia. Okay, so here it is on screen. All the three at a glance: Calcarea, Hexactinellida, and Demospongia. The what's the difference here? Spicules are calcareous in Calcarea. Hexactinellida. Spicules are siliceous, made of silica. Silica nothing but glass. Then, in case of here, that spicules may be either siliceous or spongin fibers, or both may be present, or both may be absent. Either siliceous or spongin, or siliceous and spongin, or both may be absent. That in case of demospongia. Okay, habitat is also a little different here. In Calcarea, live in shallow marine waters, Hexactinellida in the deeper regions of the sea. And Demospongia, marine and freshwater, as we discussed earlier. Spongilidae and Potamelipidae family are having freshwater animals. So they are belongs to the class Demospongia. Okay. Then structure-wise, in Calcarea, the body structure is simple. Okay, then here even a simple will find in Hexactinellida. Most complex one will find in case colony form will find in case of Demospongia. Okay, so then the very important part it will come, that is examples: Calcarea, Sycon, Scypha, Leucosalinea, and Grantia. Sycon, commonly called Scypha, Leucosalinea, and Grantia, usually called as simple sponges. Okay, so that Sycon, the Leucosalinea and Grantia, Sycon are examples for Calcarea. Next, Hexactinellida, Euplectella, Venus flower basket, Euplectella, Venus flower basket, Hyalonema, glass rope sponge, Hyalonema, glass rope sponge, belongs to class Hexactinellida. Okay. Next, Demospongiae, that Spongilla, freshwater sponge, Euspongia, bath sponge, Chelina, dead man's finger. Spongilla, freshwater sponge, Euspongia, bath sponge, Chelina, dead man's finger. So, this is the story of phylum Porifera.